Welcome, Guardians, to the 57th episode of the DTR podcast. I am your host, Jay, the content manager here at the Tracker Network. And my guest this week is Hiddnen. Hiddnen, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me this week.
Thanks for having me.
So it is just going to be the two of us this evening. J Ram and Rachel Sally cannot join us this week, but hopefully they will be back next week. Alright, so Hiddnen, we have a ton of things to talk about over the course of this hour. But before we dive into all of that, I do have a few announcements to make. So, you guys can find the DTR podcast on iTunes, well, Apple Podcasts, sorry, Podbean, and the Google Play Store at Destiny Tracker Podcast. The show is recorded on Fridays at 7:45 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/DestinyTrack. If you guys would like to support the show, you guys can subscribe on iTunes, and you guys can also follow us on Podbean. And make sure to leave a review on iTunes, because your feedback is super important to us. You guys can use our promo code DTR for 10% off your gamer subs GG order. Also, guys, next week we're going to be recording a special edition of the DTR podcast with Jason Schreier from Kotaku. He is an editor at Kotaku and the author of Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. I'm really excited for that show. If you guys would like to ask him a question, you guys can fill out the Google application form that will be in the description of this show, or you guys can just tweet it to us, and I will screenshot it and keep it and save it. And then we will ask him that next week. So that show will be uploaded to all of our services on January 1st, 2018. So that's our first show of 2018. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited for that. All right, guys. So, Hiddnen, I'm just going to throw it over to you, man. Do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself? What do you do here in the community?
Yeah, definitely. I primarily stream Destiny. I streamed Destiny 1 for, I think I started May of 15, right around House of Wolves drop, whenever I updated to an Xbox One and found out what Twitch was, and kind of got my start from there. And I primarily stream Destiny 2, and some other games, and also help out with a couple different charity streams, and big member of Destiny Reset clan, and love those guys. Been with them forever, and yeah, that's play video games, right?
Nice. So how did you get into content creation and streaming?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally, I played Destiny 1 with two other guys since the original release, right? And then once House of Wolves was coming out, they both upgraded to an Xbox One, and then I ended up doing the same, and literally discovered, what's this Twitch app? What is this? And I think one of my first streams that I watched was a Professor Broman stream doing a charity for something military related. I can't remember which one it was now off the top of my head, but I was like, this is amazing. Like, people literally watch other people play video games and helping towards a good cause. I've got to get in on this, and hit the ground running. Immediately started streaming from my Xbox. September of that year, started streaming through a PC, and just progressed from there.
Nice, congrats.
Thanks.
So what is your future plan for your Twitch channel? What are your goals for 2018?
Sure. So within the next week, I'm literally going to sit down and I'm going to make a list, because I didn't do that last year and I hate myself for doing it. Like, one of the first episodes of Destiny Reset, they did goals, and I kind of mentally set 3 goals, and you could submit goals and whatever, and I function those goals. But I'm going to be more specific and have hard set goals for myself. Some of the things that I want to do, it's still a hobby, right? To where I've got a full-time job. I got a 7-year-old over here playing Star Wars right now, and those things are main focus, right? But this is a hobby that I can have fun with the people, because I'm going to play video games anyway, so why not stream it and then interact with other people? But I want to get 4 digits on followers. That's a big goal. Last year, one of my goals was to double my numbers. I did that close or just barely, I think. But it's not about the numbers to the most part. It's just being able to see that plateau, and that's how you can see yourself climb, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a couple other hashtag ads that I'd like to try to get a hold of throughout the year, maybe. Mm-hmm. I've started getting on a couple different podcasts here and there. Have a blast doing that. It's really fun. I don't have the time to do anything of my own. I don't want to. I don't have mm-hmm. anything available to be able to do that, really, to where everything else is already cut so thin. But yeah, just grow the channel. I want to help out with more charities, to where I've really focused a lot in the last couple of years with Extra Life. Mm-hmm. Destiny 1 or Destiny community is really big in St. Jude's. I just did a St. Jude's charity this month, started in December. Very small goal, hit that goal, and so I'm kind of hooked for 2018. So I'm going to kind of split it between the two. Outside of that, man, I want to sit down and I want to make a hard set list of what I want to focus on, but those are some of the major things.
Nice, congrats on meeting your goals for the charity. So, what are your what were your first impressions on Destiny 2 when you first started playing back in September, and how has that has your opinion changed, or is it the same?
Sure. So I'm one of those people that I took off. I didn't take a week off. Mm-hmm. I took 4 days off. Tuesday through Friday, and first week I streamed 75 hours of Destiny. I played 80 hours of Destiny.
Not all at once, right? Not all at once.
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
There was some sleep, sort of somewhere in there. But yeah, it was literally. I remember checking. I was like, shit, I just played 75 hours of Destiny week 1. What am I gonna do? Mm-hmm. And I loved it. Like, I had an absolute blast. Like, one of the, like, on a previous podcast, they're like, hey, what's one of your biggest Destiny memories, right? Mm-hmm. And well, whenever we booted up D2, a mod of my channel and a longtime friend, Blackout, he was there with me, and whenever it flashed through all the videos of your accomplishments in D1, he was literally listed in every single one. That's awesome. Just being able to do that and realize that we're still friends. It's when you log into a game and play a game, it's normally not to make those long-term friends, right? To where it's just, I'm just gonna play this game and whatever. But then seeing all the same names reoccur, and then the whole Twitter community and the Destiny community and Guardian Con and all of that, it's just mind-blowing. The game itself, I had a ton of fun. Yeah, there was problems with it, whatever, but I had fun playing. I literally couldn't put it down. Mm-hmm. I think the issue that I ran into is I kind of burnt myself out playing that much that quickly. But at the same time, it gave me the opportunity to, like, I literally streamed D1 for. I played that game solid. I didn't play any other games for 3 years. Same. And in the past 3 months, I've played more other games mm-hmm. than I have in the last 4 or 5 years, and I've had fun with that. And if D2 was this kind of addiction that D1 was, I wouldn't have been able to. Mm-hmm. But I immediately got I got it on Xbox. I've got it on PlayStation as well. Mm-hmm. Still not open yet, but I'll get to that game at some point. But I do play it on PC as well.
Okay. So you have all 3 platforms.
I love it though. I do. Technically 2, since I haven't opened the other one. Okay. Yeah. But and
so I love
question. Both. Yeah.
So you said that in the last 3 months you played more games rather than just D2, because in D1 you played just D1. So would you say that is a good thing that you're playing other games, or rather than just being sunk into D2? Like, is that a good thing to you, or is that a bad thing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a lot of, I don't want to really dig into the Twitch lifestyle or the kind of thing, but the Destiny directory is a lot different than other directories, to where it helped a lot of channels grow and progress and make a career out of it. And a lot of people have had to kind of change focuses from being a single game streamer to a variety streamer.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people outside of the Destiny directory has always said to be a variety streamer, so that way you've got multiple options and you're not relying on just one game. And I never really paid attention to it until D2, and with the Dawning, it's kind of got a little bit better, but prior, the Destiny directory was kind of a pitfall, to be honest, to where you would have your normal people that are going to come no matter what the hell you're playing, right? But then other people are going to come in and say, oh, what people still play this game, you know, and or why do I hate this game, or whatever. And it's just creating issues that shouldn't be. But it's, yeah, I've had a lot of fun branching out and being able to play other games, and you know, seeing other development companies and how they handle things and so forth. So definitely opened my eyes a bit.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Bungie's communication throughout D2 from launch all the way to now? Would you say it has improved or can be improved even more?
You can always improve, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can always
improve. You can definitely always improve. But They've definitely had some rocky spots concerning XP and some other things. But I think what they're doing right now with the Dawning is really good. They really opened up the communication and letting us know what they're doing, what their plans are. We've finally got, it's not technically printed material, but we've got printed material, right? We've literally asked that for 3 years. And the biggest thing, I think, we went from D1 year 3 to a D2, and everybody wanted stuff to carry over. And we don't know how long they were working on D2, because it was a completely different team, and it's not a what would the word be? It's not a patch from one to the other. It is a different game, right? So it's hard to carry everything over, and they at the same time they don't want it to be a fourth expansion of D1. They want it to be its own thing, and so it kind of did have to kind of reboot a bit. And where D2 is right now in its cycle versus where D1 was in that first year, leaps and bounds. But yeah, they had experience from D1, but I still enjoy the heck out of it. We finally got some grinding, related stuff back. But like I did some Dawning stuff last night and did it for like 2 hours straight, and I was like, oh my god, this is taking forever. Oh, this is awful. But then when you have like PTSD thinking about year 1 and grinding those materials, no, it's like they don't even know. Like,
yeah, that's a real grind right there.
And like I love it. Like I would see people complain about the grind of the Dawning materials on Twitter. Is like, you have no idea. And it's just funny. It's that's goodness.
So what are your thoughts on the Curse of Osiris expansion?
So launch night I played it and played it on one character all the way through, start to finish. Did I hear him talking? I'm sorry. But yeah, to where he I enjoyed it, right? To where sure the story itself could have been a little bit more deep, and that kind of thing, but it's still an expansion. And when you look at it, it's technically via story material and missions that we played. It's the second largest expansion behind TDK. And now,
is it? I thought Rise of Iron would be. I could be wrong.
Now, so
Rise of Iron
I'm
did have
counting
5
story missions
Oh, story
with
missions, yeah.
with the strikes. Yeah,
Mhm,
so
okay.
counting the strike story missions as well.
Yeah.
It's larger.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
now, I mean, Rise may have had a little bit deeper story to it, a little
Yeah.
bit,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed it.
I felt
Right?
like Rise of Iron was a larger expansion because the patrol zone was larger. It had a brand
Mhm.
new raid, a full length raid. It had a lot of in-game quests right after you completed the campaign. There were a lot of quests to do. There was Archon
That's
Forge
true.
and like things like
Mhm.
that. So I do think Curse of Osiris was a fun expansion, and I do enjoy it because there's so many things to do right now for me because I haven't really played too much of D2 because I'm also playing on PC and Xbox.
Same.
So I'm
Yeah.
still grinding for my prophecy weapons and like things like that. So I am finding things to do. So I am happy about that. But I do think Rise
Oh
of
my,
Iron
like that's
was a larger expansion to Curse
no,
of Osiris.
I
Yeah.
it's yeah, story mission wise definitely, but
Oh yeah, this is
and that's the thing. Like I've jumped back into the Dawning, right, to where I wasn't playing on an everyday grind, and now I kind of have been,
Yeah.
and I haven't gone through and read everything of this is the things that you have to do and how to do them, right, to where I kind of wanted to explore and figure it out on my own to extend the content to where I didn't burn through it like I did vanilla D2. So I didn't know that the master class getting those and then
Oh yeah,
the
and I'm
the
not.
other
Yeah.
the other guns, whatever they are, I didn't know that full thing yet either, and until just recently, and so it gives us stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm actually having a lot of fun grinding out for Masterworks because they're super rare. It could be annoying sometimes not getting them, but I am having fun. Like, oh, I got a legendary engram. Hopefully, I get one, and things like that. So I think,
Yeah.
I'm having fun with that.
Oh, I got mad at myself last night. I totally forgot about the whole Masterworks, and I probably dismantled like 3 or 4 guns.
Oh my
I had no idea if they were Masterworks or not, so I don't know if I did, but I didn't even look. It's just like, oh, okay, well, this one's delete.
They have a little like golden thing at the top.
Yeah, the square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot. Oh, that was my question. So what are 2 things Bungie did well on in Curse of Osiris and 2 things that they need to improve on? I know that's like a loaded question. I'll give you time to think. Unless you have an answer ready.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
to where...
Yeah. 2 things they did well on and 2 things they did not.
Well, one answer for both
Yeah.
would be the forest is initially whenever you first load into the forest, you're like, oh, this is cool. It randomly generates and you have to fight through these and you don't know how it's going to be. Well, towards the end of the story mission, you're literally just burning through stuff, jumping over people, getting to the gate, opening it and going through, and it's literally, somebody worded it as what was it, like a firing squad loading demo for the actual story mission itself. I think it's got a lot of possibility. Maybe they'll go into it further, but like I would love if random force openings had side missions like the Black Spindle that we haven't discovered yet, right?
Yeah.
Or something of that nature. But let's see, something else that I like. Visually, Curse of Osiris is amazing.
It's stunning.
Oh yeah. Yes. And I'm almost mad at myself, that I didn't play it on PC first, and played it on Xbox. But that's just, I have a better screen and higher resolution, that kind of thing. No frames included. But it's just one of those things. Something else that they could have done better. Not sure.
Well, I give you time to think, and I can answer.
Yeah, let me come back. Yeah, go ahead.
So one thing I think they did really well on was making past and future Mercury. I think that was a beautiful thing that they worked on. I think that was awesome. Another thing that I think they did well on was grinding out the materials to build the weapons. I think that was awesome because it gave me an incentive at least to go back in and grind out the weapons and things like that. One thing that I think they can improve on, and of course they can always improve on this, is the story. I felt like Osiris was this character that they've been building up for so many years, and we don't really get to know too much about him. Yeah, we have the webcomic now, but again, I would like to see that in game. I would even love something like the Books of Sorrow, but for Osiris, or something like that. And I really wish there were things like the dead ghosts out on patrol or something like that.
Very
or
true.
Like the Siva fragments, the classified fragments. Classified. I really, really enjoy looking for things like that. And another thing, and it also relates to the story, is I wish our Guardian could talk in certain scenes, because some of those scenes were cringy. I hate to say it, but they were pretty cringy. Or like our Guardian cannot talk, but again, the script writing.
At least they're consistent with it.
Yeah, like the story, the scripts, whatever. They at least don't make it cringy. Like it has to be good, right? Because it's like everyone around us is talking in like the last cutscene, and we're just looking. Or when Ikora was talking to the ghost, and the ghost like spoke for us, like we like leaned forward like we were about to answer, but we didn't. That was cringy.
It was a tease.
I just really wish they can improve on their storytelling and things like that. Always, yeah. But the webcomic was really good, so 10 out of 10 GG Bungie on that. But again, in-game storytelling, I think they can really work on that. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, that's and that's what I was going to go with is the story itself, to where we learned more about the ghost than we did Osiris.
Exactly.
And that's technically not really a complaint. Like, it was a fun ghost. Like I enjoyed that part, but yeah, I would have definitely liked to know more about the best warlock out there. But you know, it's one of those things to where maybe they didn't have enough time. I don't.
They had enough time.
I know. Well, I'm sorry, not time in making it, but fitting it into 5 to 7 story, game missions. I don't know.
I think it was like
I need a book.
I think it was really cool for us to see like those holograms of Osiris, but I really wish we were able to like really interact with him. Does that make sense?
Sit down, have a cup of coffee with him.
Yeah, or like,
where you been for the last 100 years?
Where have you been, Osiris? Where have you been? Tell us everything you know. But the last story mission I think was amazing. I really enjoyed that story mission a lot. It was better than the Gaul encounter, personally. I
enjoyed the last story mission. I didn't like the boss fight.
Really? Why? Explain. I'm curious.
I did it the first. I've only done it once, but there was just 2 of us. We were both warlocks with Stormcaller, and it was so simple. And we literally, like, it was like, here, go do this. Okay, now go do this. Now go do this. And we literally did it in one playthrough and just wiped him. And there was no hesitation. There was no, what do we got to figure out? How do we have to knock down his shield? Or, there was no complication to it. It was a walk in the park, literally. And I just wanted it to be a little bit more tough, to where, I guess it would have been if, it was just one of us. And we literally were chaining our supers to where anytime there was ads, one of us could just wipe them all out. The other one would gather their super, and we would just chain them back and forth. So that definitely helped. But it was very short. But at the same time, the Gaul battle was also pretty short. So I don't know.
I went through the campaign solo, through the Curse of Osiris campaign. So I had a ton of fun. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And things like that. So,
I don't want to say I didn't have fun. I definitely had fun. It was just, like if he didn't tell me what to do,
Mm-hmm.
that would have at least added one little thing to where it's, you know, because that's a thing with the raids, is to where they don't tell us, like in you know, in the BAS, we have to figure out, oh, you got to do this and this and this and this and this. Just don't guide me. It's not a demo, you know. We're not learning how to play, but it's still a fun encounter.
Mm-hmm. And just one more point that I wanted to bring up, I wrote it down. Like Bungie has 3 studios working on Destiny 2. And we're still only getting 8 story missions and a DLC. Like I felt like I'm really curious to know what the other studios are working on, because like me, I really want to work in the gaming industry, so I look at a lot of job applications for all these other places, and they're looking for world builders, raid designers, PvP designers, and things like that. So I would like to know what exactly are these other studios working on, because Bungie has over 1,000 people at one studio, and these other places at least have 100 people. So I'm just really curious to know. Like, yes, game development is not easy, but I would like to know what the other people are working on, because again, 8 story missions, short campaign. I'm really curious, because I know some people completed the campaign in like 55, like in an hour, ish. So.
All right. Yeah. So I have no idea, obviously, but I would assume that Luke Smith and his team are probably working on D3. Let's be honest. And because Barrett is now in charge of everything DLC related, just like he was with Rise, and that was the live team. And you know, towards the end of year 3, there was literally like 10 or 15 people working on D1 at that point.
Yeah.
And so they're probably working on things that we don't know about. Now, the bigger of the other 2 studios, they're doing just PC stuff, right? To where they're making, they're probably making D3 to be. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But,
I see what you're saying, but to play devil's advocate, in the webcomic, it listed Luke Smith's title, and it said Destiny 2 franchise director. So I have a feeling he's working on like future expansions, such as the September version of the TTK, September of 2018, and things like that in the future.
Most likely, it may not be a D3. If it has anything to do with a raid, I'm going to assume that he has something to do with it, or whatever the next raid is. Because, I mean, we don't know how big... That's the thing. Like, we, you know, via Twitter and us and a lot of the other people are all following all the bigger names, right? But we don't know how many people are under them and what they're doing, to where, how, you know, that 1,000 staff, right? How many people actually, all they do is work on the raid? How many people actually work on the world and the environments? And you know, it's we don't know how far it breaks down that pyramid, so it's hard to tell on that. So.
Like, I'm really excited to speak to Jason Schreier next week and figure
out I know I saw that. I was like, well,
is going on at Bungie. His brand new book, Blood Sweat Pixels, basically says a lot of chaos went on at Bungie post Taken King. So I'm really excited to sit down with him and figure out what's going on at Bungie right now. So one final question. What are your thoughts on the raid layer? Have you played the raid layer first? I do want to say you haven't played it. All right, I'll just leave it at that. I haven't played it either. I've been super busy. I've heard good things also. I have not played it either. I am guilty of that. I've been super busy, but I hadn't
even done the challenge modes for the previous one because I've been doing other things, right? And then when I do sit down to play, I don't have 6 to 8 people, whoever, that we can get a raid together and then get subs if somebody else leaves, you know, that kind of thing. Because a lot of other people are playing a lot of other games, and even if they are still playing D2, they're not playing it for 8 hours a day. They're playing it for a couple and then moving on to Fortnite or PUBG now. There's a lot of really good games out there right now. And a lot of people, you know, going back to the beginning conversation, is they're not scared to play other games now. So where it's either you play D1 or you don't stream and you play offline. But now you're venturing out and you're doing other stuff, and it's awesome, but at the same time it can hurt you too. So it's just catching everybody on at once. So I haven't touched it.
So would one reason be because there's no incentive to do the rate layer in challenge mode? Is that?
That's why I didn't do any challenge. It's there's nothing to hunt for. Like I've got almost all the raid guns from clan inrooms. My PC character, I've only got one character on PC that just hit 300 the other night, and he's got a couple of the raid guns, and I think I've entered the raid once with him. Mm-hmm. So it's neat to be able to get those things and help level my character and have those good guns, but there's no Fatebringer or any other guns to chase. And
I agree.
That's probably one thing that I miss a lot. There's good guns out there, right? Mm-hmm. There are, but there's not a chaser to play the raid 30 times in hopes to get this drop. Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know.
So I was gonna save this.
Hopefully they'll live and learn.
Yeah. So I was gonna save this part of the show for later, but I do want to bring it up now. Would you say Eververse is a reason why there's no incentive to do prestigious activities? I feel like because they put so much energy and time and effort into making Eververse the way it is now. Like, there are exotic ships and exotic ghosts, and there's so many things you can get from Eververse, and it's not really in the loot pool for prestigious activities. So would you say Eververse is a huge issue in this game?
I don't think it's an issue. Like, I think Eververse right now is in a very good place, personally at least. Okay. To where I'm not going to spend money on stuff. I didn't spend money on stuff in D1. Mm-hmm. But the way that the bright end rooms and stuff, I think it's amazing. Mm-hmm. I was there when you'd get 5 emotes, or the motes of light, when you leveled up past getting max level, and you got these motes of light that you couldn't do anything with back in D1, to where now we're getting money. We're physically getting product that can technically cost you money, and we're getting it for free, right? Mm-hmm. I think the issue is that we don't have content or cosmetic items, whatever, that we can't get. Why is there not a raid ghost? Why is there not a raid ship? It's you could have a raid sparrow. Like, that was one of the big things, is getting that raid sparrow, and that's the only place you could get it. Yeah. The stuff in Eververse is fine. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's exotic, whatever. I love being able to open up that bright end room and possibly get an emote that would have otherwise cost me a couple of dollars, right? I love that aspect, but I want gear to hunt for as well. Yeah. And if they added that, I think that would help. I don't think Eververse is in a bad spot, though.
Yeah, I just want to know, why is there no exotic ghost in the raid, but it is through a microtransaction? That's where my issue is. There's no strike specific loot. There's no lost sector specific loot, which I still think was a missed opportunity. Lost sector specific loot. Lost sectors was so cool. I wish there was go in there, grind lost sectors to get a full gear set. So it actually blows my mind still that there are exotic ships and things like that in Eververse, and the raid has bare items right now. So, and yeah, I totally forgot, there's no raid ship, there's no raid ghost, there's no raid sparrow, which is still crazy to believe.
I agree.
And ornaments, I believe ornaments now is the only way to get it. Xur doesn't even sell ornaments, right? No, he doesn't sell ornaments. So you can only get it through the Eververse store. And I read this awesome Reddit post today, which I know it is Reddit, but it said that D2 was basically built around Eververse, right? Because I feel like the end game of this game is Eververse, chasing bright engrams. Chasing bright engrams. If you don't get what you want, well, you go pay for it. And also a lot of people are saying that Eververse is now like not pay to win, but we're getting close to it.
I mean, it's still all purely cosmetic, though.
It is. But then for this, if this is a looter shooter, then we have to chase cosmetics, right? Since that is the end game things. Those are the end game items. So that's just like my 2 cents on it. Like
no, I can see where you're coming from. I just think that it's more. I think to where Eververse wouldn't be an issue, right? If there was raid Pacific loot, or strike loot, and things like if we had both, it would be a zero issue. And you're like, whenever I go pop an end room for a bright end room, I could care less what sparrow or what ship I get. I want one of the emotes. That's what I'm looking for. I don't even look at the ships or the sparrows, because I think 2 of my characters on the Xbox still have default ones selected, just because it gets me no gain in the game, right? To where an emote, it doesn't either. But if you are the one in your fire team that has the selfie emote or the salt emote or things of that nature, those are the things that I'm after in the Eververse. And now with the way the Eververse is, we can still get those for free. Yeah. To where in D1, you couldn't. You had to purchase, right? Other than the well, they did it right there at the end of year 3, right? To where you had a very, very, very slim chance to get an emote from like what was it, like Nightfalls and some other things. But I don't know. I think if they added raid, like why is the gear for challenge mode the same exact gear as the standard, but it's gold? We got shaders for that. We don't. No, like I want a Fatebringer. I want some other gun that says, "Oh shit, he's beat it on hard mode. He probably played the Templar X amount of times, right?" That's what's missing. Eververse is fine. It's just because we don't have that other thing. It's the blame's going towards that, I think. But
yeah. I agree, because it seems like Eververse is the end game right now. It seems like that's where we have to go for our end game loot. But again, that's just my opinion. Everyone is going to see it differently, right? Yeah.
Now, is it in game because they're exotic? Because they're physically a gold exotic item, or is it just because that's?
I'm saying it's end game because like I've seen a lot of my friends and people on Twitter chasing after things that are in Eververse and not a specific weapon from like Zavala or a certain strike, because there's no strike-specific loot, or from Trials or anything like that. I feel like everyone is putting their focus into Eververse. Like that's where everyone's like, I want the selfie emote. Like everyone's going crazy to try to get the selfie emote. That's their end game. Go get a selfie emote from Eververse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. I agree.
Yeah, so I feel like that's why I'm saying I feel like Eververse is the end game of D2. Yeah, for right now. Until they figure out a way to make prestigious activities useful, an incentive to do prestigious activities. So I'm really curious to see how they will make that happen. Which is crazy to say, because in
just go answer.
It's crazy to say that because like in D1, prestigious activities, there was an incentive to do those activities, and now in D2 there aren't. But again, I'm still having fun. Like I have so much things to do because I haven't been playing too much lately. Right. I'm super busy, but I'm having fun right now. So
no, I agree.
Yeah. So since we're talking about fun, what is the most fun you had in D2 this week, man?
Back to the grind, really. Okay, thank you, buddy. Yeah, just being able to grind everything. Like I played last night for like 2.5 hours, bouncing around Titan, finding, doing the
public events, right? Is it
yeah, well, it wasn't even the public. It was finding the materials, right? And it kind of brought back memories of vanilla D1. So it was definitely interesting. It is just being able, and then like I still need to like discover how to get all the other gear and unlock the weapons. So I hadn't even dug into that yet. So
Most fun I had was diving back into PC because I know I haven't been playing too much PC because I've been really focused on console. But opening up D2 on PC, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. It's beautiful on PC. So I've been having a lot of fun going in. I don't have the DLC yet on PC, so I was really like just going in there doing the basic things right now, and then I'm going to get the DLC to play because I haven't even touched the raid or anything on PC yet.
Yeah,
I've been so focused on.
I've not done the DLC yet on PC yet either.
Yeah, I don't even have it yet.
Just the Dawning. Yeah. I've got it. I just not. I haven't convinced myself to go to the story again yet.
Yeah,
I need to.
All right, sweet. So let's just dive into the Dawning. So are you enjoying Mayhem Clash?
Yeah, I did that to do whatever the first present was, where you had to play a bunch of the Mayhem, and it was a lot of fun. I switched to the Void Warlock prior to the glitch. Did not use the glitch. But I had an absolute blast, just Nova bombing everywhere, and that was the most fun I've had in PvP in a long time.
Nice. Yeah, I was diving into Mayhem Clash. I'm like, whoa, this is so fast paced. I was loving it. It's like so fast paced. Yeah. It's so much fun. I'm like, I hope this stays. Like, I don't even think we had confirmation yet that it's staying past the Dawning.
No, it said in the Dawning that it was a limited time event.
Yeah, I haven't even, after playing Mayhem, I'm like, no, I don't want to go back to the other. I don't want to go back to regular D2's Crucible.
Let's relate it to, Fortnite right now, right? So where 50v50 is a limited time event.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. They're literally bringing it back on the 23rd for a week long. So I could see Destiny doing that to where, similar to Iron Banner and everything else. Oh, it's Mayhem Clash week. We're going to do it this week, Mayhem Clash. Maybe next week will be solos or back to Iron Banner or Faction Rally or whatever. I could see them doing that to where I think it would be back.
Again, I can see them doing it, but will they? Because, SRL did not return, which I was shocked, and they haven't said anything about SRL as to why it didn't return. But I feel like SRL was our winter event. Like, that was our thing to do, was SRL. So I was shocked to see it not return. How do you feel about that, not seeing SRL?
I honestly don't like it too much. So I'm cool with it. So to be 100% honest,
the first year I didn't really enjoy, but last year I enjoyed it a lot.
I agree.
Last year was a lot of fun.
I guess the issue with me was a lot of the gear was cosmetic, other than SRL, and it was taking up space for D2. And it's, we had the machines that had all the gear that you could get back and so forth, so that definitely helped. But it's one of those things, I'm never really big on racing games in general. It was more something to change up the pace from doing just PvE or just PvP, and you could let's go do some races for a little bit. The best thing about SRL was probably all the charity fundraisers that spawned from it. That was probably the only reason why I kind of liked it, sort of.
Yeah, those were fun to watch. Seeing competitive SRL, that was awesome to watch. So yeah,
100%.
I hope it returns because it was just another activity to do, which I like. Because we need as much as activities that we can do as possible. We need a lot. So I really hope they do something like that and they bring that back.
I could see it to where I think right now they're focusing on Osiris and the Dawning, right? So where we don't know what they're going to do in January. We don't know what they're going to do in February. We don't have a release date for the next DLC. So it could still drop at any point. And it's the same thing to where what would happen if Dawning's coming back, we're bringing back Mayhem, and it's there for good, right? But then Mayhem drops, and it was god awful, and everybody hated it. but now we're stuck with it, right? So they brought back Mayhem for the 2-3 weeks, however long Dawning is, testing the waters with it. If we like it, they'll bring it back. If not, they'll do something else. They could then next month or the month after bring in SRL, and it could do the same kind of thing. It's just another quarterly flavor kind of thing, or season 3 is all about SRL. We don't know. So I think there's still a chance. They know everybody likes it.
Yeah.
We don't know where the team is that's putting SRL together, right? So we don't know how their progress is. It may have been just like, I mean, it took what, 2? They did the demo for it the first year. How many people, like, it's so funny that everybody is upset that SRL is not with the Dawning, but do you remember the salt eruption of
when they announced the Dawning?
PSX? When they announced that SRL was coming, and instead of a DLC, 2 years ago. It was like
when they announced
what?
SRL,
yeah, and it was everybody.
Oh man, I remember.
Oh, what is this? And then now it's the exact opposite, and it's. I don't know. We'll get it at some point. They're not gonna not bring it back.
We'll be happy at some point,
don't know
Bungie.
when.
We'll be happy at some point. That.
No, it won't.
God, just my train of thought. But like, what are your first impressions on the Dawning? Like, are you enjoying it this year? Do you feel it's too much of a focus on microtransactions?
No, I mean I'm enjoying it. Like the snowballs
those are fun,
amazing. It's so much fun. I wish there was a snowball only PvP. That would be sweet. But having the snowballs in PvE is amazing. Like it's so fun, and then the actual snow
gets on
it's I really like it visually. I honestly have not played it a whole lot on Xbox, but I've played it a lot on PC, and
I bet it looks gorgeous on PC.
It looks great in 2K.
Yeah. Not on Xbox though. On Xbox it still looks pretty cool, but it's like it doesn't look like real snow.
Well, on PC, like I Black Friday, I was able to kind of upgrade to 2K.
Nice.
I can't handle the 4, but 2K 60 frames and the 110 depth of field, it looks beautiful.
Nice.
I have a lot of fun with it, and visually and I'm happy with it.
Now, are you shocked that there's no any secret quests out there? I doubt there's a secret quest out there, but are you shocked to see that there's no quests out there like Black Spindle or Sleeper Simulant, or even Outbreak Prime, the thing that we all loved, enjoyed that quest?
I mean, the thing is do we know if there's not one?
I feel like because we have seen in the past that Bungie, if no one found it, they kind of hint at it, right? I feel like they did that with Outbreak Prime, right? Like they kind of threw clues out there and hints without really saying what's out there. So I feel like now there's nothing, which I was shocked to see.
But I mean, it's one of those things too, to where
maybe they didn't want it. Yeah.
I think it's on it. It's probably on a blackboard somewhere, right? To where they're gonna work it in. To where, I mean, we didn't have those year 1 DLC for Crota, right? There wasn't any hidden missions or anything. That was all year 2. To where maybe they're just wanting to lay the groundwork for D2, and all right, we've got things where we want it. Let's throw in missions. And who's to say they won't come back and add missions in at some point, So it's.
I really hope they take advantage of adventures, because put on timed adventures to prepare us for what's coming next. For example, there's a great segue into the DLC leak. What if there's something that an adventure randomly shows up, I don't know, on Titan, and it prepares us for the next big threat to come? I think that would be pretty cool.
I think the adventures for for Osiris are amazing. Like the heroic adventures, I think that's a really good step, because that's one thing I didn't play a lot of on Xbox playing the original D2 is I didn't need to play those because they were already so low light level compared to where I was.
Yeah.
So I didn't even bother them, and there's a lot of them that I've not even played, to be honest.
Yeah, there are a lot.
So, and if they make those a weekly rotating heroic or something, I would jump right into them to play them for that week, just like back in the day doing heroic strikes or whatever. Like set of heroic adventures for Titan or for whatever planet, and have that be that week, and then and then they could drop in. It's the same thing I brought up about the forest. Like, if with it being a randomized thing, what if randomly it opened up to some map somewhere and unlocked the next Black Spindle? It's all possibilities, I think.
Oh yeah, of course. So just like really quickly with this DLC leak, it just like it talks about that once the Dawning went live, people searched through the game files on PC and they saw a new expansion called Herald of Nazarak, and it will introduce a brand new patrol. It will bring in 2 new enemy races, which I'm like, I don't think they would do that. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if this could be real or not, but I do want to get your opinion on it, things like that. And it talks about that Anna Bray will be someone who will help us throughout this DLC. So that's basically, I just summed up everything that was leaked perfectly. So what are your thoughts on that? It seems pretty far-fetched. I haven't done too much investigative work on this, so I'm really hoping to ask Jason Schreier next week. Right.
The biggest thing that I've seen about it is I've not dug in because I didn't want to spoil things for myself if they were true.
I apologize.
But no, you're fine. It's at the same time, it's still stuff that we kind of saw at after the end of the credits for the most part, right?
Yeah.
To where I think it was Bife that had a really good tweet. If this is the same information, I think, to where they data mined it, but then they wouldn't link to the data mine.
Exactly.
Or things of that nature, to where we had something similar in D1 that somebody wrote up a big post about all this leaked information, and a lot of it was just pulled out of somebody's butt, and we don't know.
Yeah.
And we don't know, and to where sure this may be it, vital information, right? But at the same time, this could be old information to where they may have rewrote something or changed something. We don't know.
I completely agree. Like,
I don't know.
There was no link to actually see the info in the game file, so that's why I'm like, this could just be someone just pulling a joke or anything like that. But again, I think it's still worth to talk about.
Definitely.
So yeah, it could be random. But again, I don't think Bungie came out and like said no, not true, or anything like that, because they usually do that for fake things. And yes, they are on vacation this week and next week.
You beat me to it. I was gonna say,
they are on vacation
to reply and say anything.
But we'll just have to see. But if it looks like the next DLC will be out, of course, in the spring of 2018. But I'm guessing if seasons are about every 3 months, so I'm guessing around April, we should be able to see the next DLC, because House of Wolves came out in May, because it was delayed until May. So hopefully we see this next DLC.
They pushed it back. April. So we'll probably see SRL in February.
I hope. I want Crimson Doubles. Like, I miss Doubles,
Crimson
man.
Doubles? Yeah.
Like, Doubles was so much fun. Like, I enjoy Doubles, and it sucks it's not in D2. Yeah, it'll be 2v2, but that was fun. I enjoyed that in D1. I enjoyed options in D1, choosing from Crucible playlist. That's what I enjoyed. So, yeah, it sucks that we don't have options right now in the Crucible. But, hey, like, choosing from playlists. Hey, it is what it is. So yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about with the Dawning?
No.
All right.
Looks good on PC.
It does. So Kotaku put out an article recently, and it put Destiny 2 at the on the list of biggest video game disappointment of 2017. They start off by saying Destiny 2 keeps making the same mistakes as Destiny 1. From its September debut until now, Destiny 2 has managed some sort of quantum trick. It's basically, so yeah, I'm just not gonna read the whole thing because it's a lot, but they basically said that D2 is following the same path as D1. Do you think that, I will say in terms of DLC, so far it looks like we are going down the same path, where there's launch in September, DLC in December, winter, quote unquote, and then spring, and then they're working on a September expansion, right? And then the only thing I see is like small live events in between, like faction rallies and Iron Banner and things like that. We're gonna see more of that. So, what are your opinions on that? Do you think Destiny 2, like, to you, was D2 a letdown?
No. I mean, it's.
Did you have high expectations going into?
I mean,
D2?
I had fun playing it, and I haven't played as much D2 as I did as a D1. But the same kind of grind that you had to do on D1 to be leveled, in level, you didn't have to do in D2. To where literally first week, 75 hours, I had 3 characters at 300. So I was practically done with it for the most part. And I've not done that with PC, but. I'm not let down. Semi let down about some things, but it's live and learn. I'm still gonna play it.
Of course, it's a video.
I've still got it on a whole nother. Yeah,
yeah, it's a video
game. It's no. I mean, if you want to talk letdown, we can talk about God, what was that one game?
The Division.
Well, hey, apparently that update's really good.
Yeah,
I hadn't uploaded that yet. No, it's the one where you fly to all the planets.
No Man's Sky. That was
No Man's. Like, that's a letdown, okay?
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is definitely not a letdown. I mean, there's so much with D2 and some of the issues around it to where I wonder if it's things that are actually Bungie related or if it's related to a certain production company.
Activision.
And yeah, we don't know, right? Yeah. So where we don't know if they're putting things on a blackboard and then some dude from Activision is coming in and saying, nope, we can't do this, nope, this is not going to make us money.
I agree.
We don't know.
So it definitely seems like Activision had a hand in this because it's like D1 was all Bungie and D2 is like Activision just storming the doors and like, yo, I'm taking over now. Like, I'm the captain now or something like that. Like, they just came in and just took control.
This is my ship.
Yeah, they just came in and just took control of the whole operation. Like, that's, like, from an outsider, that's what it seems like. Like, I just wish that we can just, like, I want to be a fly on the wall at Bungie and see what's going on day to day.
I mean, I remember seeing a lot of salt about the whoever the basketball player is that was like, oh, I'm taking a break and playing D2 and blah, 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 blah. And everybody was going in as, oh, well, they got time to get this professional basketball player.
Yeah, that's
Bungie didn't have jack shit to do with that.
That's Activision,
that is Activision. Same thing with the Red Bull codes. Bungie had zero to do with that. That is Activision. That's why they're there. That's their purpose.
That's Activision's PR team, guys. That's not Bungie does have a PR team, but I'm pretty sure it's for different things. Like like who was it? The guy had a cleat line, right? That's definitely Activision. And or how about the Rockstar drinks? Activision.
Yeah. Well, it's like to where, pay your developers more so they make a better game. Look, the only thing that they missed out on was the 3 hours that the developers gave the guy with the cleats a tour. Like, literally, that was it. And nothing else was lost. And they definitely probably made some money from it at some point, right?
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
Yeah. It definitely sucks not knowing what's going on. They're a company, it's a job and all, but like I just wish we could know. Like, things like this fascinate me, right? Like, just knowing what's going on day to day, what does their day looks like and just things like that. Like that's why I love listening to their podcast once a month.
Oh, 100%. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. And they're so open in the last couple of weeks compared to like they literally have 3 community managers.
Yeah. Oh, I think your mic is messed up, man. I think your mic is messed up. Yeah. Just gonna take off that sound. It's still messed up, man. So I'll just continue talking while he fixes that mic issue. So yeah, I think Destiny 2 has a lot to improve on. I am really, really excited for 2018. Deej did say that they are working on plans and that the first few weeks of the TWAB, they do plan on showing us a roadmap, basically, of telling us what's going on in 2018. And your mic is still making that noise. I still hear it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited for 2018. I'm curious to see what's coming. I'm really excited for the next expansion. I'm excited for the September 2018 expansion and just, seeing what's coming up next in D2. So Hiddnen is fixing his mic right now. And I will let you guys know when he fixes that. It sounds to be good now. Hello? Better? Yes, there we go. Good? There we go. What's up? Yeah.
I didn't change it. I know. What happened?
Yeah. That's Skype. It's Skype.
Oh,
Skype.
technology.
No, technology. It's a letdown.
Yeah.
That's a letdown.
You almost everything I was about to say, so you're good.
Yeah. Like I'm curious to see the roadmap for 2018 and see where they take us. That's what I'm looking forward to now. Is that? But your last point about the community managers, yeah, like they have like Deej as head of the communications at Bungie. Then we have DMG, Dylan, he's filling in for Cosmo right now. Then we have Cosmo as community manager and things like that. But again, like when we speak to Jason Schreier, I'm really curious to know who calls the shots at Bungie. Is it Luke Smith or Mark Noseworthy? I feel like the term director we always think of is the one that really makes all the game plans and all that. Like they are the ones who take control and things like that. But recently I've just been thinking, I'm like, I don't think their version of a director does that. I feel like since Mark Noseworthy's title is project lead, he's the one that makes these shots, and Luke Smith is the main guy between the dev team and Activision. He's the middle person. But again, that could just be
based on their podcast. I kind of think it's like Mark, like they're kind of equal, but slightly Mark is slightly higher kind of.
I
thing.
do feel
but
and I'm actually glad you said that because I feel like now. I'm not like throwing shade at Mark or anything because those are 2 great guys. I would love to work with them one day and speak with them. But like Mark did say, he is a casual player. He does play this game casually, and I feel like Destiny 2 is a casual game. And Luke Smith is one of those, like, he's a WoW player. He plays World of Warcraft. He's a hardcore gamer. So I just feel like for him to call some of these shots, and yeah, they did say that their data did show that your dog is adorable, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
That their data did show that players wanted a casual game. I'm just like, that could be true, but again, I don't know. I'm not there every day, so I wouldn't know. But I do feel like Mark Noseworthy is the one that does call all the shots on this game, and Mark and Luke and Smith is the one that just like he does like PR, he does marketing and everything. Well, like he's like franchise
I think
director.
Mark is head, like, right, and then Luke Smith is Mark's head of Bungie. Luke is head of D2, right? So it's
what
a
do you mean
direct
by
chain.
head of Bungie?
Like he's I
feel like Mark is the person who works with the dev teams. Like he's the one that's really like into, like, he works with the producers, he makes the game plans and all things like that. And Luke just looks at the whole project as a whole and see where can we bring this franchise. but Mark does like core gameplay changes. Does that make sense? Like he calls his shots on the gameplay and things like that.
Right.
Like of course Luke Smith does have a hand in that, but I feel like Mark has a heavy hand in that, and the core gameplay changes like that. I may be right, I may be wrong, but hopefully Mr. Schreier next week can like clear us on all of that. Things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
If only.
If only.
If only.
Oh man, yeah, again, I'm really excited for 2018. I'm really just excited to see where this game goes. And I'm excited to see what Mr. Barrett takes this game. He is the live team director and the current director for
some
DTR.
of his tweets recently.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Like he communicates with the community a lot and see what do you guys want? Just tell me what you guys want. Like just tell me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Well, thank you so much, Hiddnen, for joining me over the course of this hour. Thank you so much, man. Had a great show.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Thank you.
It's been a blast.
So, where can we find you on social media, man?
Sure. So, main place would be twitch.tv/HIDDNEN, Hiddnen. But it's the same everywhere else is where Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. Same tag everywhere, so it works out well.
Do you stream daily?
Tell
us your stream schedule.
I can't guarantee it, but it's usually 8 o'clock to about 11, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
A lot of it really depends on when I have the little man and some other plans, but if for the most part, it's usually 8 to 8:30 to at least 10:30 to 11,
Nice.
almost nightly. Actually, now that you bring that up, I can officially announce it somewhere. I'm actually going to start streaming on the Extra Life official channel, the
nice.
Twitch partner
Congrats.
channel. Thank you. I am starting that on Saturday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Congrats.
Probably starting next Saturday, with it being so short notice for tomorrow and in the holiday. I may not make it on that one. But starting next Saturday, that's where I'll be.
Nice. Congratulations.
Super excited
So, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing for the holidays?
I've got a little dude. I'm actually not traveling this year, but we're gonna hang out, play a lot of video games, do some stuff.
I like that.
And then
that's an awesome weekend.
hang out.
That's an awesome weekend.
That's my plan. There it is.
Hi. Alright guys, so you guys can find me on Twitter at J_DTR. You guys can find Destiny Tracker on Twitter at Destiny Track, and on YouTube at Destiny Tracker, and on Twitch at Destiny Track, and on Instagram at the Tracker Network. I'm really excited, guys. We have an Instagram now, so make sure you guys follow us there. So thank you guys so much for listening to the 57th episode of the DTR podcast. Next week we are going to be recording a special episode with Jason Schreier, editor at Kotaku, author of Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The episode will be live on all of our services on January 1st, 2018. And then next Friday, we are recording a live show with Evade from Destiny Guides. So I'm really excited to speak with him about Destiny 2, and we're going to close out the year with him. So thank you so much, Hiddnen. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I know it's just the two of us, but we still had fun. We still had fun.
It was a good show. I
still
enjoyed
had
it.
fun. We still had a nice long show. Thank you so much, man. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you all next week. Adios. Bye.
Bye.